because I just recently got into Colin Kaepernick's new Netflix special on, you know, it's actually about his life. It travels it's about his life from growing up raised by white parents as a biracial person, and then it follows him into right up into the protests he did with the NFL, kneeling and things like that. And he's got a lot of backlash. I feel like he's always getting backlash, but one of the things that's getting so much talk is that he compares the NFL Combine. When the players are like trying out for the NFL and things like that, he's getting a lot of pushback for this. So I just want to take a little look at what we saw, and here's Ivan. Take a look at what we saw and just react to this.
Before they put you on the field, teams poke, prod, and examine you, searching for any defect that might affect your performance. No boundary respected, no dignity left intact.
Look at this here. Come on, who wants this?
The scene cuts back and forth between slave owners and coaches.
Now that was just a little scene from, Inside Edition I stole. No, it's fair use is all on the internet. But anyways, I just want to get a reaction from you guys. His comparison between, trying out for the NFL, and especially after what we heard with John Gruden and his emails and him getting, he's stepping down from head coaching at the LA Raiders. How did you guys feel about this special? I'm going to go to Ivan first.
Well, I'm actually going to start watching that tonight. I'm going to binge watch it to make sure I'm all up to date on it.
Yeah, I got to finish this.
In that perspective, when you think about it, he's not wrong. I mean, literally, the slaves were judged based on, their physique, the muscles, what they could do, the whole 9 yards. And basically, these players will be paid millions of dollars. And it's a very similar situation. So I guess my only thing is he started this situation with, going down on one knee, kneeling during the whole, ceremonies and everything else, and really just saying enough's enough, we need to speak up. He got punished for it. But now if you look at the stuff people are doing now, they're going far and above what he did, as far as I'm concerned, to bring to light the whole situation, and nothing's happening to them. So I think he got the raw side of the deal. And what he's saying now, what he's doing now, I give more power to him, because his voice was pretty much, they were trying to snuff him out as far as I'm concerned and discount him. And now it's like there's so much going on regarding Black Lives Matter and everything else. Yeah, he kind of got the short end of the stick as far as I'm concerned. So my thing is, do your thing, say your truth, speak your truth, and don't look back at it. And if people don't like it, then get over it.
And then Brandy, let me go to you. Brandy, how did you react to this?
So I was listening to a lot of it, and it was very interesting. It kind of brought me back to kind of like the same thing. Like that's the first thing I thought about when I saw things, was that it was basically the same way they were doing slaves, but not only that, was not that long ago, Hitler and his regime were doing eugenics and doing the same type of things to Black people, people of color, LGBTQ, gypsies, all kinds of things, measuring their nose, measuring their head, measuring different things. So this is not something new, or that it is too far in our past, and it's unfortunate. But I think that the problem is that it's kind of like that white person that says, "Oh, I'm not racist, I have white friends." Or I have Black friends. And I'm just like, you don't see what you're doing until people are going to point it out. Nobody's going to see it from someone else's perspective until they're part of a marginalized community, or have friends, or have someone that actually points this out. And it's kind of hard, because when people don't want to see something, they're not going to see it. Like, all of us have a little bit of prejudice in us, no matter what, against everybody. But when this was brought to my attention, I was like, I thought about eugenics, I thought about slavery, I thought about this and that. And I was like, wow. I was like, think about it. We still think a person that's under a certain amount of feet is considered disabled, or that, someone that is obese is disabled, or what. We put all these like little things on everybody and everything in these boxes. And then when we start, it also reminded me when you join the military. I don't know if any of you are familiar. You're like butt naked, going to get shots, going to get measured, going to get this, that, and the other thing. And it's the same thing. It's like you're seen again as a number. You're seen again as a piece of property. You're not seen as a person with dignity. And yes, the military gives you money and education and this, that, and the other, just like the NFL will give you this, that, and the other. But at the end of the day, how much does your life really matter to those people at the top?
Absolutely.
So that's
You
my
know,
thoughts.
like,
Is the trade-off worth it? Is my question. I mean, it's up to you, but is the trade-off worth it? Is what it comes down to.
you know, we had before you guys were on the show,
I mean, we
like
don't tell
we had.
people.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, Randy.
No, I was saying we don't tell people, even like you're getting these people that are coming from marginalized areas, just like with the military. And we're saying, we're going to pay you millions of dollars, or we're going to give you college, or we're going to do this. But you're not telling them all the risks that ensue. Traumatic brain injuries, even from little kids, like all these PTSD, different things that are going to happen to you, and all these things that are down the line. And is any of this worth any amount of money that you can put in front of them?
Right. So I just kind of want to jump into, because like that's the biggest pushback Colin Kaepernick is getting for saying this. People are, saying that you get a lot of money from the NFL. And the question is, yeah, at what price? We just had Keith McCants. He was a player drafted from Alabama, my father's home state, and he played for the Buccaneers first, and then he played for a couple different people. But he was on the show because he was recovering from a drug addiction, and he can firmly sit here and attest that it came from the NFL, because when they drafted him, they knew he had a problem. He had a lot of doctors visits, things like that. So they started like giving him injections of medicine and like hard drugs, and he became a drug addict, and he recently passed away because of of a drug overdose. He recently passed away of that. And it's like, geez Louise, and after hearing about Joe Gruden, right? I'm right when I say that. Joe Gruden from NFL. He coached John Gruden, sorry.
John
It's
Gruden, the coach
Gruden.
that got, the one that's like gone now. Yeah.
So like after hearing about him, and he was in Tampa, I'm not surprised to hear about this stuff. So Colin doing this, I think he's making an artistic judgment in order to get people to feel an emotional need to see what the NFL actually is, because it's almost like the WWE, because people are coming out about
that's what I was
WWE
thinking.
and
yeah.
About a lot of the wrestlers not having like, health insurance to deal with their injuries, and we were just talking about in the media, they were talking about how in the NFL, you have like a lot of concussions and shit like that. So him comparing this to this, and especially with Black Lives Matters going on, getting backlash, I just think that he's making a statement. I think he's making a strong one, because I feel like finally someone said it. You have like,
I mean, it's been there for years, for decades. But who would actually put it into that same context to finally say, yeah, you're
who's
paying
brave
me millions
enough?
and millions and millions. You've already kicked me to the curb. So you know what? Let's just call a spade a spade. This is very similar to slavery. You put them up on an auction block. You sell their high points. You don't sell their low points, and you sell it to the highest bidder. Exactly what it is.
Yeah, like but this time you're getting paid for it.
Yeah,
but you're saying that people understanding.
Right. So like I feel like, Colin coming after the NFL, especially
the other
after,
thing that I think that Bull.
Go ahead. Sorry, Brandy.
Oh, I'm sorry. It was breaking up. No, I was just going to say, I think like one of the biggest things that they're not understanding, just like any like Supreme Court thing that comes down, that it's going to have an effect, because now we have just opened up college football and sports to being able to get paid, to being able to get this. So now we are going to have literally children right out of high school having these same injuries, having these same issues, not even done growing. And we're going to sit there and give them, as soon as they leave the nest, hey, we're going to put a dollar sign above your head. Don't focus on education. Focus on this. We're going to distort your body. We're going to do this. And then we're going to use you and abuse you. And if you don't have the same, because it's high school game now on a lot of networks and different things, they're going to go wherever the money is. Just going to trickle down.
Exactly. Instead of getting full-grown USDA choice bulls, now you've opened it up to ponies and younger versions of the same thing they're also getting paid for. So it's just like being cattle. It's the exact same thing.
Mhm.
The question is, I mean, yeah, you've got the stardom, you've got the fame, you've got the whole lifestyle and everything else. Do you want to do the trade-off? Or will you be smart enough to make it work for those 5 or 10 years to invest the money and make sure that you get out what you need to get out and then get out of it and say, I'm done? Or do you fall victim to it and you wind up on drugs or you wind up, doing who knows what because you can't handle the fame and the fortune and everything else?
Absolutely. Like it comes all down to that. I feel like, it's unfortunate, that players are being forced to speak out like this in this way. Let me make a documentary. It's like working in the White House. Like everyone that like quits the White House is like
Well, I will say it is exploitation, point blank, plain and simple. However,
absolutely.
the other part of that is though, you as an adult are making a decision to go into this. So you're getting in bed with them, you better know what to expect to a degree. And it's like you can't walk in blind and go, oh,
Yeah.
a football player does this, a football player goes through that. You want to reap all those benefits and rewards and all that other stuff. Remember, it's like a number line. For every plus, there's a minus. For every minus, there's a plus. Are you willing to actually be on that scale and adjust it?
But not every player is making like millions of dollars that, Colin did before he left,
True,
So like
true.
it's not like, and not every person that left because of this protest is probably making money like Colin is today. So like it honestly, for the whole situation, I think that he's still making a point of things, and I feel like he can because he was in the industry.
I think he should, definitely. I think he should. But keep in mind, not everybody's doing it, not everybody has that, but the potential is there. And that's the hook, line, and sinker that gets them to say, you too can have this. Are you willing to take it? And if you get it, can you sustain and can you actually live with it? Because it's going to be a ride. And that's just my 2 cents. Okay, 25 cents, whatever. We're good.